Hi, my name is Pop. I am making a video in Ubuntu Basics that shows how to use zoom and magnification with VLC while playing a video and also while using a webcam. And it's very complicated. I'm going to go over it in some detail. I have got an Impress slide up here, and the Impress slide is actually in VLC as a video. It doesn't move or anything, it's just a slide, and it's on pause. And in the top left you can see that I am referring to Compiz, and then down here I am referring to VLC, and then over here I'm talking about a webcam, and then here I'm talking about a running video. It gets kind of complicated and convoluted. First of all, we're talking about Compiz Grid. Compiz is a program that I have a prior video on, and it shows you how you can use your 10 key with a combination of Ctrl-Alt, and you can move your full screen around with the 10 key into quarters of your screen. Now this is Ctrl-Alt 7, 9, 3, 1, 2, 8, and then 5 makes it full screen. In addition to that, you can also double click the same number and it cycles among different sizes. Like this one is full screen, it's Control 5 in the center of your 10 key, but when you hit it each time it cycles. And then if you go Control Alt 9, it does it like that. Well, I've gone over that before. In addition to that, Compiz allows you to zoom, and here I assigned Alt keys 5, 6, and 7 to the 3 levels of zoom. So let me go down and do Ctrl-Alt 1. I'm going to put it in this bottom corner of the screen, and I will do Alt 5, that's where it is. 6, it goes full screen, and 7 makes it really big, but it gets kind of grainy. But the 6 makes it full screen again, even though it started out as a quarter of a screen, and you can see that the arrow is bigger. So much for Compiz Grid and Compiz Zoom. Now I'm going to specifically talk about the controls that are built into VLC. Well, Ctrl-h, if you use it, gets rid of media playback audio line like that. You can also hit F11, and that goes full screen, but it has different effects. So let me get out of Compiz Zoom. I'm in Alt 6. I'm going to go back to Alt 5. That's just normal, and then I'm going to go Ctrl-Alt 5, and remember Ctrl-H got rid of that middle line, and F11 now, when I hit it, gets rid of the blue border. So with F11 and Ctrl-H, I can get rid of all of the writing and all of the borders. Instead of F11, you can just hit F. Now when I hit F and F11, nothing happens. First you have to hit Ctrl-H, and look what happens. Nothing. It gets stuck. Here I am down with Ctrl-Alt 1, Ctrl-Alt 5. Let me hit Ctrl-H. Nothing. F11. Nothing. F. Nothing. What has happened? Well, it gets in sort of a rut, and you have to be careful when you do this, when you are zooming around. It paints you into a corner. Let me do Control 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't do anything. How about Z? It zooms, but it seems to have this erratic behavior. Now I got my Ctrl-H back. Now I got my F11 back. If you hit Z, it zooms. And Shift Z zooms in the opposite direction. That doesn't seem very appealing, but if you use it very carefully, you can use it to your advantage. Let me try Alt-T and Alt-E, and we're going to get these video effects. And the video effects here, you can also, instead of going Alt-T and Alt-E, you can just hit Ctrl-E. Let me close that and I'll go to it directly by hitting Ctrl-E. It's the same thing. And you've got either video effects or webcam video for Linux 2 controls. I've got the video camera running in another screen, but right now I've got a VLC video running. So let me go to interactive zoom and go to video effects and then go to geometry and then hit this interactive zoom. Now, you've seen this before, I assume. You can zoom around like that, and you can change the intensity of the zoom with this slider. You can do this while watching a video, but you can't do it with a webcam. Let me close the screen here, and I'm going to now use Control-Alt left arrow to show you my webcam. I've got a couple of figures, and let me run through all of the things that we said we could do. Here's Z, Z, Shift Z, Shift Z. Let me go Ctrl-H, Ctrl-H, F, F again, got it back. Alt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's very confusing. But now when you go up into Effect, Filters, you cannot do anything with interactive zoom because it's a webcam. Instead, you got to go to Video for Linux controls, and at the very bottom here you've got this slider called Zoom Absolute, and when you click on it, you see how it changes. There's actually 4 different settings. I'm going to go back over with Ctrl-Alt right arrow, Ctrl-E, video effects, and get rid of interactive zoom. Close this. Alt-V, Alt-W. That changes things too. Alt-V, Alt-W. Always fit window. If I get rid of that and then cycle Alt 1, 2, 3, 4, you see how that differs. 3, 2, 1. That's the same thing as Z, 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 and then Shift Z, Z, Z. And it has a completely different kind of zoom when I check always fit window. Z, 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 Shift Z, 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 Z. There's so many options, it's way confusing. But the thing to remember is when you've got the webcam going, you've got to use Video for Linux Zoom Absolute. When you're running a video, you can't use Zoom Absolute. You have to go to Video Effects, Geometry. You can reconfigure Compiz Zoom to change Alt 5, 6, and 7. And you can go into VLC and change the hotkeys around to change Control 1, 2, 3, 4. There are so many things you can do with this. Well, that's all I got. I hope this wasn't way confusing. I think it's way confusing. It's just too much. I would prefer something simpler with perhaps even fewer options. My name is Pop. I've got a whole bunch of videos in YouTube Basics, and I hope that this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it and don't think it was just altogether too stupid and confusing.